Hey guys, it's Small here with an old what if. What if deku has Steven Universe's powers? Also, the thumbnail was made by Evie Jojo, and our channel in the description below. But before we start, you guys may have noticed something different. For example, instead of saying this on my channel, you might actually be seen as on the 10 Cents and 10 Commandments. Cause you guys may have not noticed, but I'm actually the commandment of purity, which I'm not sure why, but they chose me. But not that I've explained why I'm uploading this on another channel. Let's start this what if. But first, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also check out my Discord and my channel, or the Sins and 10 Commandments channel, in the description below. Not that I got all the boring stuff. Let's start this what if already. So when Izuku was born, his last name wasn't Midoriya. Instead it was Universe. That's right, he's Steven's son. So I call him Deku on accident, or call him Midoriya, then it's on accidents. So in this what if, his name is Izuku Universe. But that's not important. Let's get back to the what if. So when Izuku was born, he had oddly cotton candy hair. It was like an odd pink. Yeah, that's right. Which made his mom Inko Midoriya and ask her husband if he knew why he had pink hair. But when she turned to her husband, he sees so worried and just stuck on his face. So Inko asked him what he's making that face, if it's related to Izuku's hair. But her husband just says that Izuku has the same hair as his mom. No, I mean dang it, if it's related to Izuku's hair. But her husband just says Izuku just has the same type of hair as his grandma. But it doesn't matter, because he says he will love him no matter what. He then picks up Izuku and tells Izuku that his name is Steven Universe, but Izuku can call him Dad. But now we have a time skip, because Izuku is now 4 years old. And he's talking to his best friend Kachan. As they're talking, Kachan asks if he's going to get his dad quirk. Izuku said he's not sure, but he has his grandma's hair, so he probably will get the same quirk as his dad and grandma. But Izuku says goodbye to Kachan. He goes home. He sees his dad and mom talking to some sort of ladies. But when Izuku asks what's going on, he instantly sees a surprised face on all the ladies, and all the ladies that's talking to his mom and dad. But then the pale lady with a giant nose and gem in her forehead got up and grabbed Izuku, which scared him, but he instantly got the biggest hug by her. She started asking his dad where was he hiding his adorable grandbaby. Why am I writing this? I'm not looking back, why am I writing this? But get back to this. After Pearl asked where he was hiding his little baby, he says he was right, he does have pink hair like Rose. But when Izuku asked who she was, she instantly shocked. But then she noticed that one of the other ladies got up and creates a gauntlet and just slams out on his dad's head. For asking why the hell didn't you tell Izuku about us, she made Izuku even more confused. And so the third lady walked up to Izuku and basically just told Izuku that they raised his dad, so they're basically like his grandparents. Which confused Izuku because he thought his grandma had pink hair. The lady said she will explain when he's older. And then he introduces herself as Pearl and others as Garnet and Amethyst. But then Izuku sent to his room. Senko told him that they need to talk to his grandparents. But after a couple minutes later, Izuku walks in and sits down next to Izuku. Tells Izuku to sit next to him. And he does. He asks what's going on. That's when his dad, Steven, told him that he's going to be leaving for a while. He's going to have to deal with some old friends and some new friends. But he's going to have to leave for a little while. But he shouldn't be worried. But Izuku decided to ask him how long will he be gone for. With his dad just respond by telling him he's not sure. He has something to tell Izuku, which confused him. He's only 4 years old. But he decided to ask what it is. That's when Izuku started to explain that his quirk isn't just shield generation. It's just a lot stronger, which confused Deku. But that's when his dad explained that he actually has a lot of power like floating, healing, shield generation, and super strength. Deku freaked out since he just found out he has super strength quirk. But he asked why his dad didn't tell him. So then that began to explain. He had a bunch of problems with his powers. He doesn't like to use them, but he thought that he should warn him before he leaves. In case something happens, he shouldn't freak out, or if anything happens, he should just stay calm. He just said he won't cause any harm. He's going to use his power to become a hero, which made Steven chuckle. He soon leaves Izuku's room so Izuku can sleep. While Izuku is sleeping, it's a bad dream. He sees himself crying and curling up in a ball. But then something happens. He gets bigger, and he looks into a reflection that he's some sort of monster. But he wakes up and blows it off as a dream. But a couple of days later, his father leaves to deal with some things. Sadly, Izuku's father never came back. Yeah, that's right. Don't worry, he didn't leave to get milk. He left to deal with something else. But when he started asking Inko, his mom, where his dad was, Inko sat him down and told him that his father got into an accident, which makes him start to cry. But But as he begins to cry, he starts to turn pink, starts screaming, "No, no, no!" When he sees it more time, he accidentally knocks back his mom with his voice. When he sees her, he turns back to normal and remembers what his dad told him. That he shouldn't get upset and he should stay calm. So he stops crying and screaming and apologizes to his mom. His mom says it's okay since she didn't get injured that much. The next day at school, Kachan asks Izuku what had happened. That's when Izuku explained how his dad isn't coming back. He got injured. Kachan tries to comfort Izuku. Kachan tells him that when he becomes a hero, you better be able to save anybody before they die. So Izuku thinks the same. And that's when Kachan and him agreed to become heroes. So over the years, Kachan and Izuku try to become heroes. And over those years, Kachan finds out about explosion quirk. Izuku finds out they can heal people with spit and create shield. Also, Deku was a huge fanboy of All Might still, but that's not important. After learning about these powers, Izuku can try to create a shield. And he doesn't train his spit, since he can already do it without trying. But something odd happens to Izuku. Because when he turns 10, he just stops aging. Since he has pink hair, he just gave him the nickname Little Rose. But luckily, Kachan threatens people, so they stop calling him that. After 10 years, Izuku is now like 14 years old. But because of his gem abilities, he looks like he's 10 years old. Kachan is 14-year-old. But while Izuku and Kachan are talking about their training for UA, the teacher walks in. He tells everybody that they passed their test. He could hand out tests to help you decide your future. But he throws all the papers in air and tells everybody. He can already tell that everybody wants to be a hero, which makes everybody start to cheer and start using a quirk. But as soon as they do, Kachan just jumps up on his desk and starts screaming, saying that none of you guys are going to become heroes. You'll be lucky to become psychic to some big tier heroes. That him and Izuku have a way better chance, and just way better chance to them. And that's sad since Izuku looks 10, but he has a better chance, which makes all the people look down. He's 10. He goes like, I'm not 10. Which reminds me, in this timeline, Izuku and Kachan are actually friends, and Izuku had a quirk and is actually really strong. But let's get back to the story. So after class, Kachan and Izuku begin to walk home. Kachan tells Izuku he has stuff to do, so he leaves. But when Izuku is walking home, he's thinking to himself that maybe he should dye his hair since everybody already doesn't believe it's naturally pink. Then Izuku hears an explosion, and when he looks at it, he thinks, what the hell did Kachan do? So Izuku begins to run, but when he gets there, he sees Kachan getting suffocated by a sludge villain. Then he sees all the heroes are not saving him. They're just standing away. That's when he hears somebody say that it's a fire that they can't get near him. That's when the girl said, screw it! He begins to run with his shield. He decides to throw it at the sludge villain's eye, which temporarily blinds him. Izuku grabs Kachan and starts to rip him out, and then throws Kachan to the heroes. He does it pretty easily and quick because he's super strength. As soon as he does that, so the villain attacks him. But when he does, Izuku tries to use his shield. When he does, the villain goes around it, which makes Izuku freak out. He tries to get another shield. This time he does something else. Instead of a shield, a bubble appears around him, which confused the sludge villain. But then Izuku hears something. He hears, don't worry, young child, for I am here. He hears a smash, and the sludge villain gets blown away, and all the heroes surround Izuku and All Might. When they get there, they ask what the heck was he thinking? He's only 10 years old. And Izuku claims that he's 14, not 10. Then they hear somebody scream saying that he shouldn't get involved, he's too small. Then they see Kachan getting back up. The heroes tell him that let him get up since he's injured. And he says that he already has somebody that can kill him quick. Then goes to Izuku and tells him to heal him. You better not kiss him or get alive on his clothes. After hearing this, Izuku licked his hand and placed it on Kachan. All the scratches and burns begin to heal with rose petals appearing around him. But after this, Kachan grabs Izuku, so both of them can get away from the reporters. After they do, Kachan leaves saying that he needs to let off some steam. He's pissed. Even though Izuku didn't want to leave him after what just happened, he decided to let Kachan leave. The minute Izuku begins to go home, something happens. Something appears right in front of him, and it's All Might saying that I am here. But before Izuku can say anything, All Might deflates right in front of him. Before Izuku can freak out, All Might explains why he's like this, and that he saw Izuku's healing powers. He wants to ask young Izuku he can heal him. It shocks Izuku because All Might is asking for his help. Izuku says it's okay, so he decides to lick his hand. He's on my side. And after he does this, All Might kneels down and cuts him some rose petals for some reason. As soon as injuries are healed, and as soon as they heal, All Might gets back and transforms a smile. But right after, he tells Deku that thank you and asks him how old is Izuku, which Izuku expected since he would look way younger than he is. But he tells All Might his age. But after he does, All Might grabs his chin. He thought to himself, he only trained twice as hard for his size and his appearance. But then he puts his hand out and asks Izuku Izuku's name. And after he does, we might ask, if Young Universe, would you like this? Would you like my quirk? After hearing this, Izuku begins to cry. Yes, of course. That other day, All Might begins to train, and All Might suggested that they should clean up a nearby beach. That's exactly what they do. But because of Izuku's height and super strong, All Might makes the training 3 times harder. But All Might didn't expect that after every month, it seems like Izuku was getting muscular. He was also getting older, because after 2 months, it seems like Izuku has aged a year and a half. But All Might wasn't the only one noticing this, because Gachin noticed this as well. And Izuku told Gachin that he was training, but also not mentioning All Might for obvious reasons. Gachin instantly put 1 and 2 together, came up with a theory that training might have made him age. It made Izuku freak out, because that means when Izuku trains, he won't look like a 10-year-old anymore. So they're figuring this out. Started training even harder. After All Might tried to warn him to push himself, Izuku explains that if he trained more, then maybe he could no longer be treated like a 10-year-old and treated like normal. But after hearing this, All Might sat Izuku down. He explained that he shouldn't care what other people say, something like that, and that he should be happy, because people wish they had the power to stay young. But as All Might explained to Izuku, he gets a weird feeling, since he's been through this, but he decides to take All Might's advice, because Izuku still trains, so that he could be strong enough to cause All Might warned him that if he's not strong enough, he might lose an arm. And Izuku doesn't want to test out if he can heal a missing arm. Izuku trains with All Might, and a little with caution, but mostly trains with All Might. But after 8 months of training, Izuku has gotten large muscles, and what All Might wasn't expecting was that Izuku somehow aged 5 years. So he no longer looks like a 10-year-old. He looks normal. He looks like a normal 15-year-old. Actually, impressed Gachin, because he just saw Izuku become a normal teenager in 8 months. After they train, All Might gave Izuku 1 for all. Since All Might thought he was ready, All Might has also trained Izuku how to use his shield better. Izuku was much better. But that's not important, because right now, I'm going to try to squeeze in the entrance exam. So when Izuku arrives, he's a little nervous, but not that nervous enough to trip. But he almost does trip when somebody touches his hair, but he calms down when he sees it's Gachin. But they get worried because Gachin seems pissed, but soon calms down again when he hears why Gachin was angry. Gachin was complaining saying that he missed the 10-year-old version of him, and he was still adorable, but now he's all jacked and tall. After they finish talking, they go inside to take the written part of the exam, but that's not important, because the next day we'll have to take a practical part. So when they sit down, Izuku pays close attention to the prison mic, also mumbling himself. He's trying to think about strategy. But when Prison Mike is explaining, a hand is raised, and a boy gets up. He asks Prison Mike about the 4th robot. He also tells the pink-haired boy that he should be mumbling, that it's distracting everybody, and it's Gachin get up. That Izuku's just strategizing that he should mind his business. Izuku just chiming in, but yeah. The leader tells Gachin that he should behave. When Izuku calms Gachin down, Eli sits down and lets Prison Mike explain the 0-pointer. And that is pretty much an obstacle. After hearing this, Izuku sits by the Gachin, as they are in different areas. When Izuku begins to stretch, he sees a girl with pink hair, like him. He thinks of saying hi, but he decides not to. Then he door opens, and then he hears there's no countdown. It's in a relay battle. So after hearing this, he begins to run with the rest of his class. After running for a few seconds, he sees some robots. So he puts them in his shield and throws it at the robot. And after it hits, the shield bounces off the other 2 robots before Izuku grabs it in midair and smashes it in the 4th robot. And he begins to run again, transform robots by either throwing a shield at the robot's head or slamming it in. After he destroys some robots, a bunch of people start to run away, which confused Izuku. Until he sees the giant 0-pointer. And he begins to run away when he hears crying for help. And then Izuku thinks to himself, dang it. So instead running away, Izuku runs to it, even though people are telling him not to. When Izuku gets there, sees that he won't be able to save her, since she wouldn't be able to get the robot off before the robot crushed her. Izuku thinks to himself, this better work. Then jumps in air and screams, smash! And he destroys the robot with 1 hit. When he begins to fall, he sees that his leg and arm is broken. So he begins to freak out because he can't reach his other hand, so he can heal himself. But before he falls, he gets slapped by Uraraka. So he begins to float, but Uraraka soon turns it off. He begins to throw up. Then people begin to show. They just saw somebody one-shot the 0-pointer. When they get to this, see a pink-haired boy with broken arms and what the hell? A broken arm and leg. See a pink-haired boy with broken arm and leg. But while the cover girl is walking up, the girl sticks his finger out of his mouth. Sticks his finger in his mouth and touches his broken arm. When he does this, he begins to heal. Then touches his leg and he heals as well. Then jumps up like nothing happened. But he walks up to Uraraka and licks his hand. Just places it on Uraraka. And she's like, ew! Why did you do that? But then she sees all her bruises and scratches are healed. That's when somebody in the background says that the healing ability is pretty super strong. When they all see a small lady appear, she walks up to Izuku and asks Izuku, you can help her out with all the injuries since he seems to have strong healing ability. How many people at this school can heal? So after Izuku helps recover who the other students, he leaves to go home. He can't wait for his letter, but he also trains with caution. After a couple of days, Izuku's letter arrives. So when he opens it, he's shocked. He sees All Might. But All Might explains that he's a teacher and also explains that Young Universe gets the second highest score in the practical exam and the higher score in the written exam. He is also given extra 80 points for hero work since he saved that young girl and also helped Rigoriko heal some of the students. So starting in a couple weeks, he's going to be in class 1A and he hopes to see him succeed. And the video ends with Izuku having a giant smile because he'll be going to UA soon. And he's going to US soon. But I'm going to end the video here since at least 15 minutes long already. So before I end the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Also check out my Discord and so you guys can go beyond plus ultra.